Hello, everybody. Let me just check real quick, make sure that we're on here and live. We are on here and we are live. So this is the weekend rant series. This is where I go through some YouTube videos of day traders giving advice, and my special perspective is that I have been a prop trader for 5+ years. I have written hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of strategies. Now, this is just on this one computer. Okay, I have two others that also are loaded with strategies. These are all strategies that I've created just on this computer alone. And again, there's two others. There are hundreds, I have hundreds and hundreds of iterations of strategies. So my perspective is from someone who actually has gone through the numbers and have learned the lessons the numbers want to teach. And so we'll just go through. This isn't to be critical of anyone. This is I'll probably agree with a lot of people, and I may disagree with other people. But let's see here first. This is Day Trade Warrior. He's one of the best. He's one of the biggest. But and I've pre-watched this. The rest of them I'll go ahead and critique them live. But this particular one I liked because it highlights a paradox that new beginning traders face. Let's go ahead and watch this.
I'm going to walk you through the simplest day trading strategy for beginner traders. Now, as a beginner trader, what's your goal? Hopefully, your goal is to take one or maybe two trades a day where you're minimizing your risk while maximizing your potential for gain. That way, even if you're only right 50% of the time, hopefully you can still walk away with a little bit of profit. Now, we know that trading is risky, and we know the statistics that most traders lose money. And of course, my results are not typical, I have to say that. But as a beginner
Very
trader,
honest.
I think you could do yourself a really big favor by focusing on keeping it simple. So
Okay, so what I wanted to point out here was when he talked about he hopes that your trading journey will be 1 to 2 trades a day, and and that's it. Keep it small. Almost play small ball a little bit, which is great advice, but it highlights a paradox that beginning traders face. Beginning traders have no context. They have no idea how the market moves, what instrument that they even want to watch. They have to go through a series of months, even years of over trading and trading a lot and trading and trading and trading. Why? Because they don't know. When you're a beginner, you don't know what's a good trade. You don't even know what's a good setup for your strategy. So you do have to trade a lot. So I just wanted to point that out. That was sort of something that caught my eye. He points out something that I view as a paradox that beginners face. Again, that you have to trade a lot of trades. You have to make a lot of trades to get context, but the best way to trade is to not trade very much. So that's one of the difficulties.
Part 1 of becoming a day trader in 30 days. Let's get started with the basics first. Step number 1, keep your day job. It pays the bills
Good
and you're gonna
idea.
need that money. 95% of all traders lose money, and you're not Jordan Belfort. That's just facts. Step number 2, open a paper trading account. Never trade with real money when you're just a beginner starting out.
This is a I would say that you won't have any interest in the results if there's not real money on the line. So it's not quality experience. So I do believe that you need to actually buy prop firm accounts and start your journey that way. It's better than blowing tens of thousands or even just hundreds or thousands of dollars on your live account. It's better to get a prop account that maybe buy two, three, four of them and trade them all at once if that gets the juices flowing. It's very, very important that the experience is quality experience. Paper trading just isn't.
Use Webull, TradingView, or interactive brokers to learn candlestick charting and practice executions. Step number 3, learn for free. You don't need to pay thousands of dollars to get started. There's so much free content online.
Correct.
There's my YouTube channel, FinViz, and websites like Investopedia. I also have a beginner starter pack with weekly watch lists, a risk calculator, and a trading journal with a link in my bio. This is the unsexy part, but it's the foundation. In part 2 of the series, we're gonna get into
I don't have too much. I disagree with her on some of this, and I like that she has a beginner pack that can kind of help get you familiarized, and it's free. She's right. Most everything that you need to know is free, but you know what? They don't tell you what you really need to know. They just don't. Why should they? Why should they tell you that essentially if it's 3 months or less worth of data in the market, it's essentially random? They won't tell you that. This whole industry is built on the few that make it, and the few that make it have a decade plus in the business. They don't tell you that. They also don't tell you that discretionary trading is really the only way you're going to be successful day trading. You can't use a strategy because strategies don't work long term. You have to have context while you're using the strategy, and that context takes years to develop. Again, that's why I developed TradeBlade. That's why it's there. Check it out. It's totally different. Honestly, it's really the only way forward if you don't have a lot of experience trading.
How much capital do you typically trade with? My capital changes all the time. There was more of a consistent time when I was just becoming a full-time trader where I would keep my trading account at $25,000 and then would just, whatever I made additional to that, I'd take it off the top. I'd pay myself. Whatever I made additional, pay myself. If I didn't make anything and I lost money, I'd have to get it back up to $25K, and then anytime I made more money, then I'd take it off the top. But these past few
I have a lot of respect for Tori because she, it is extremely difficult to trade, and then to trade under a microscope. I mean, hats off to her. Much respect, much respect. She doesn't day trade. If you're new to trading, you'll learn that the real money is probably in swing trading, but prop firms don't accommodate that generally. So you actually need to learn how to day trade if you lack the 25K capital that Tori has. You need to build that 25K capital up yourself. So love her, think she's the best, think she's probably one of the, if not the most influential, profitable trader in the business today.
There are the 200s. This is a key level from yesterday.
This is Patrick Wieland, and this guy's, I've followed his stuff for years, and I mean, I don't hate on the guy. I know a lot of people do. I just don't. I like the guy.
Buy-in right there. See if it squeezes back up, holds that 18,200 level. Want to get above 260s here. Bought the dip perfectly there, down to the 220s. Now right back up there to look for the 280 break now. 280 break coming up. Look for the 90 break. Get through the 300s one more time here. I'm going to lock it in right there at the 280.
So this is discretionary trading right here. This is 10 years of experience. This can't be taught. And what this looks like he's doing is something very, very easy. We have a red candle that has rejected price. It has he went in here. Let's back it up and find out exactly, see exactly when.
There are the 200s. This is the key level from yesterday.
So he's trading a key level from yesterday. So he took a gamble and took a long right here. Honestly, it is a gamble. Understand that. We don't know, and neither does he, if this is going to just completely crush this level. And he's probably prepared just in case. And the better traders are, if it doesn't go immediately the way he thought it would, he gets out of the trade right away or fairly quickly. But he did take a little bit of a gamble entering here because he doesn't know that this is over with. He doesn't know that there's going to be a retest immediately. It may continue on lower and then retest later. it typically will retest eventually, but we don't know when that will be.
Buy-in right there. See if it squeezes back up, holds that 18,200 level. Want to get above 260s here. Bought the dip perfectly there, down to the 220s. Now right back up there to look for the 280 break now. 280 break coming up. Look for the 90 break. Get through the 300s one more time.
I mean, and I've seen him do this on repeat. He's very, very good at this sort of thing, but this is not something that you can learn to do. He has done this through trading and through the fire of failure countless times to get to a level like this. And, you know, to be honest with you, we're not seeing, and we wouldn't see Patrick Whelan's failed trades where he took the gamble and it went against him. You know, that doesn't make me think he's doing anything wrong. Again, I like the guy. I think he's awesome. So, but this is not something that you should be aspiring to, because this takes years. So this is a long path. TradeBlade is a short path. This is a long path.
This is one of the easiest trades to take if you're a beginner. Let me get into it with you. When the market opens at 9:30 East on the 5-minute time frame, watch for the low of day to form. That's the lowest point in the chart. As soon as it consolidates at that level, watch for buyers to hold that level up. As it gets tested, take the entry. You'll notice that support is very strong. And guess what happens? I like this trade because it's easy to spot.
Here's the difficulty is that if you've traded at all for any amount of time, you know that candlesticks fake you out all the time. They do. They fake you out all the time. If, for example, if you took a long on this breakout right here, you probably get your stop loss crushed right here. This is a large move. This is $3,000 move, you'd get crushed right here. You know, or if you took the low, but you were a little bit too early on it, you tried to take this short. So you see this little breakout right here. It's breaking out below this low. You take your short here, boom, you're crushed the other way. That's the problem with trying to read candles. Okay, if I've got 5 years in creating robots that trade, non-discretionary systems. If this worked, if reading candles worked like that, for me anyway, I'd be doing it. And unfortunately, you can't prove it works, because this pullback right here that immediately gets gobbled up with a long candle could mean it's going higher. And we see that countless times. Here's another example. We had a high, a candle finishing near its high. It did continue forward. This one did not. So these candles, reading these candles is essentially reading a liar, a constant liar. I don't know. Am I being too harsh?
I think trading is one of those things where going full time actually requires a lot more money coming in per month than an average job. For me, I would say an average job, like, who knows? Some people are making like $2,000-$3,000 a month. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's some people's salaries, bro. And for me, for me to even consider going full time for trading, it would have to be making $10,000 a month consistently, along with money stuffed in the bank. I think
I would agree with him, but you know, look where he's living. He's living in probably a $2,000 a month apartment. You can do this for far less if you don't live large. Part of his TJR trades is he has to spend some of this money. So, I mean, I don't know. Take that for what you will. You can do it for less. I would say, you know, if you can meet your expenses and just run evals, learn the craft over a series of years, this isn't going to be a simple, quick thing. You're going to need years to do this. Now, if you buy TradeBlade, you bypass all that, but I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to go look at TradeBladeHQ.com or anything like that. I'm just saying, if you want to take the long way, take his advice. If you want to take the short way, at least glance at TradeBladeHQ.com. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to hard sell you. Take it or leave it. I don't care. You know, if you do get involved, I will absolutely support you 100%. But you know, I don't. It's not that I want to be flippant or anything, but to be honest with you, I'm at the point where if people can't recognize the golden goose when they run through the math page here on our homepage and they can't recognize. Let me put this on the current. They can't recognize what any of this means. They don't know that this 8-9% increase on your required capital is essentially 8-9% in a couple of days, in a few days. Every eval cycle, on average, this occurs. If they don't understand what that means, I mean, they will eventually, and then they'll come back later.
We're doing our taxes, and last
No.
year,
In one of my most popular lives, it was the one that was called The Realistic Life of a Day Trader. I just talked about how this is my first year live, how I'm making enough money to pay bills and live comfortably. Like, I don't have nice cars and nice watches. My goal is absolutely to continue to build my capital. You know, a snowball effect would be great if it could just build faster and faster and faster. I do treat myself to some nice things, and I do live comfortably in LA, which is tricky because, you know, LA is an expensive place to live. So
I've always liked her because she's just honest. You know, she fully admits I don't have a bunch of nice cars and you know, nice jewelry and all of this stuff. I can live fairly comfortably in LA, which is probably, you know, a $5,000-6,000 a month if you're probably like skimping a little bit. You know, you got $3 grand for your place if you want your place by yourself. If you want it somewhat nice, you know, $3 grand may not even cover it. I don't even know the LA rents. But love this woman. She's awesome. She's an
Day
inspiration.
trading is a scam. See, what 90% of people think of when they think of day trading is wake up, trade for 10 minutes, make $10,000, walk away, enjoy your day, go buy a Lamborghini. And there's a specific 1% of people that understand that this is not the case. And when you're able to comprehend the fact that day trading is not like this at all, and that is like 99% of the scam world out there with all the gurus, that's when you become profitable.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would say about day trading is that the biggest percentage of traders that lose are day traders. Now, there are the very, very few that do win. In fact, there was a study done in California not that long ago. They tracked day traders over a 5-year period. At the end of the 5 years, out of all these people that they tracked, only 1% of them were profitable at the end of 5 years. So
That is an amazing and telling statistic. And I'm way into that because that's why I built this. That's why I came up with an arbitrage system that treats prop firms basically like an options contract. And you build your live account slowly over time. This says mathematically you should double your account every 4 months. I don't know that that's true. I'm forward testing that now. But that's why we did this, is because the statistics for day trading are just horrible. So if you try to trade like everyone else has tried to trade, trend lines and guessing direction and all of that stuff, if you do it that way, you're going to lose. You can almost be assured of it. I appreciate what both these guys are saying. I mean, he said it like it is. Day trading isn't getting up and doing 10 minutes. It's a time investment. I mean, if I were to take a brand new person, if I were to take a brand new person, here, let's close this. And this is a revolutionary piece of software that I have built around NinjaTrader. And I just want you to see, even if I gave someone who's
Welcome to TradeBlade.
Someone who's brand new, this piece of software that does pretty much everything for you. It runs a hedge system. It runs the TradeBlade system for you. All you have to do is do an add pair. You know, you go through here, you pick your you pick your accounts and just kind of go on through here. Even this kind of stuff, which is fairly straightforward, it's going to take a time investment. You can't do this 10 minutes a day. That's ridiculous. Eventually, yeah, you can, especially with something like TradeBlade, because I'm running a coin flip test right now where we're just taking a long if it's heads, short if it's tails, essentially, and seeing what happens. I got within one trade of a payout. Within 7 trades, something like that. 7 days. So, I mean, the whole point is this is not built on needing to know the direction the next move is going. There are fail safes and backups. I'd love to share more with you. Please hit the website. There's a lot to learn, unfortunately, but I've laid this all out for you so you can kind of put it together. And if you can put this together and you start trading with this, you will, I can't say what I believe is true because it gives me legal liability. But in my opinion, this will change your life. Now, I could be wrong about that. Trading is risky. You can and probably will lose all of your money. That's what they say, and that's what the that's what the statistics say, right? But then it leaves no room for someone who builds something so revolutionary, it's so new category that it doesn't follow those rules. We don't actually want to win. We're trading prop firm accounts and we don't actually want to win them. We want to be in alignment with the prop firm company and lose every eval. We would be so happy if we lost every single eval. If we lost every single eval, let's set this up here. We'd make $152 on a $1,600 minimum investment. Invest in your own live account every 2 days. That's the power of this. $152 seems like nothing. You run with Apex, you run 10, 20 accounts on rotation on these. This $152 every 2 days becomes $3,000 every 2 days or more. I mean, $3,000 in running 20 accounts, you're going to need roughly $32,000. Let's call it $35,000. You build to that. You build to that point. But you use our embedded trade copier. I can't show it to you, unfortunately, because I still haven't made the fix. So this stream on means it aliases my real account, so my account numbers never get seen. But I haven't done this with the trade copier, so unfortunately. But it's a beautiful trade copier, super easy to use. I'll show it later, but this is really how you do it. You take small edges. This is not entirely small. Again, you only need $1,600 minimum. We prefer that you have 2K for a little bit of room. But for $1,600 at risk, essentially, you can make 8% in a couple of days. And this is the most common outcome. 60% of the time you will fail the eval. With our system, you will pass it 40% of the time, which is actually regrettable, but we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it because we want to get by this end of day drawdown. This end of day drawdown ratchets. Now, with a 1-day pass with Apex Trader funding, we can target $3,000 on day one, and we have a $1,000 daily loss limit. So we fail it in 2 stages. Fail it for the first 1,000 and the second 1,000, right? But we set the profit target at $3,000, and if we lose the first day, we're 4,000 away now from the profit target. The second day, we set it to 4K. So to a funded account. So no matter what, we are going to know if we have a funded account in 2 days, or we've done what we want to do, which is fail it. Now, here's our recovery scenarios. We've passed the evals. We want to recover our capital because we laid out there $300 in hedge loss during the eval. Okay? Plus we have the 165 that we want to recapture. That's 40. We won't recapture all of it, but we've got $45 eval fee we want to recapture. That's current pricing, and 120. Those are actually exceptionally high. They should be about $10 lower to be fair. But we have scenario 2 here, or scenario 3. These are our capital recovery lanes. We have 2. We will recover capital no matter what. So when we this is so hard to explain. So we've passed the eval, and our first trade with our prop firm account, with our funded account, we have a $3,000 or $3,600 target that we want to hit. That's down here. If we hit this $3,600, we get a payout. So the process of failing is essentially not getting to the 3,600 and getting to the stop, the end of day drawdown. Our first trade, we're risking $1,000. Our second trade, we're risking $1,000, but we're capturing, because we're going to run 2 contracts when we start these funded accounts. We were only doing 1 contract on the eval portion. On this portion, we're running 2 up until we get 1,800. Then we move to 4. But we'll talk about that later. But these 2 contracts will take 20% of that $2,000 as captured real money. So if we lose from there, we capture $400. Is it enough to cover everything that we did to get to that point? No, it doesn't. But it's a small loss. This is kind of a worst case scenario. Okay, so we try to fail it in 2 trades, and we move back into the failed eval. If in the unfortunate event that you get to payout, where you now have laid out $1,000 plus your $300 for the evaluation laid out, so you have about almost $1,500 laid out there. You're going for that payout, and that payout will cover that. However, for the second payout, we actually hedge that as well. And that gives us a no-lose situation where we make either $800 or $900. Essentially how it works is we hedge it with 4 contracts. There's a $2,000 drawdown. If we capture that, we capture $800. If we lay $600 to get to the 1,500, to get to the second payout, because the payouts are 1,500, to get to the second 1,500, again, we're trading 4 contracts on our real money account. So that's 40% of that 1,500 we're laying out there. So that's $600. So we go down in our live account $600 to win the payout another 1,500. So we net 900 there. So I hope that's been clear. I would love an interaction with somebody so that I can answer questions and know when I'm sucking at explaining all of this, because this seems very, very difficult to understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to show you how easy this is. The problem is hedging is not a really common thing. People don't really know what it is.
Just got me a short position here at 18. Order filled. 1813.
Okay, let's stop here real quick. So here's what she saw and here's what she did. And this is not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. A big red candle, and I don't know what time of day it is or what instrument, but if this is the indexes, this is very common to have big candles fit, like get near their low and like sweep the overnight lows and then come back up. That happens a lot. So taking a short here is a 50-50 gamble, right? 50-50. She's going for a big payout though, so that's a good thing. She's her stop loss is here and her take profits down here, way down here. So I don't even know where it is.
So we're about to close in 20 seconds. I need to see this break pretty strongly.
Okay, so she added more once it broke this little local new low, swing low. And that's gangster, dude.
All right, I just added to this position and I will be getting out if we break above this.
So she's moving her orders around to break even so she can't lose. This is a big trade for her. This is awesome. She's added to this trade. This is vintage Tom Hugard. Look at her. Look at that killer. Look at her. She's awesome.
This trend line. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to take this down to you just hit about 117 ticks. I'm trailing my stop.
I like how she's doing it separately.
Down, like just keep trailing down. I might get stopped out around here, but I am targeting down to where we had this large sell order, but I might get stopped. I just got stopped out. All right, so that was nice. Order filled.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Caught about 130 ticks on that.
That's awesome. She's acting on. Yeah, that's an enormous move. That's an enormous move. That is not typical. That is not. You're going to hit one of those once every maybe 10 trades. You know, this is not a typical thing, and she handled it beautifully.
For a beginner trader, what's better? Day trading, scalping, or swing trading?
The easiest and the most profitable by far is swing trading.
Yeah.
Scalpers, none of them are ever profitable. Day traders are decent, and swing traders take the trophy.
Yeah, I agree.
Facts. For a beginner trader, what's better? Day trading, scalping, or swing?
So I agree with that. Unfortunately, for the prop firm game, you need to day trade. So you now have a way to win. TradeBladeHQ.com. You now have a way to win. Nothing is guaranteed. Don't sue me if you don't win. I am doing my best to present for you something that works. It works great. It's beautiful. This thing is beautiful. It's simple to use, has full access to Ninja Trader charts, are launched with the account you want on it. I mean, it's all the attention to the detail on this just makes this thing a superstar. It's super fun to trade with. It's profitable. You don't sweat anything. The only thing I sweat is if I don't use market orders for both the prop and the hedge, because the one thing that will kill you on this system is if you have naked hedges. But you can play around with, this is our default mode, which fires a market order on the prop, and once that's filled, the limit order on your hedge gets filled or gets placed. And sometimes that might not fill. I have a sort of a momentum one that's kind of my favorite right now, and that it will, like, if I want to go long, it'll go direction with. That's all I could come up with for the name, but so if I want to go long, it'll wait for like 3 ticks to go up before a little momentum goes up. Then it'll fill, assuming that it's going to continue a little higher, and that makes it really easy to fill the hedge side. But you can always eat the spread and get fully filled and be satisfied, not be a pig like me. So
It has been a rough one, bros. Oh man.
I mean, that's sick. That's disgusting. You know, how would you feel losing $150,000 on your session?
There's no fucking way I just did that. If I hit this.
And he's revenge trading, which is what you shouldn't do. And the reason you shouldn't do it is because he's about to win right here. And now he's reinforced behavior that will kill your account.
This will be the most crazy fucking trading day. Oh, wow. I'm done. Done for the day.
He better be done doing that anymore. You know, sometimes the worst thing that can happen is you not get punished right away for doing something everyone knows you shouldn't do, and that's a revenge trade. There's no doubt about that was a revenge trade, down 150K. I mean, you got lucky.
I don't even know if I should post this on YouTube.
You should.
I made $137,000 today. It has been rough.
How long did it take you to learn to trade? It only took me a year to learn. I spent a year living with my uncle who taught me how to trade. And I'd say I learned that year, but it took me a few years to truly actually take it seriously. Like, learning to trade is a different learning curve than actually applying the concepts consistently. How long did it take you to learn to trade? If you are making the transition from day trader to swing trader, let me help you out. Do not jump back and forth between time frames. If you are a swing trader and you have committed to trading in the 4-hour time frame, stay in that 4-hour time frame.
Yeah.
With the 1 hour in a
The money, the real money, the real consistent money, it's not as big of money if you're like TradeBlade can double your account in 4 months. Now there is a standard deviation involved here, so it doesn't guarantee that. You know, it's supposed to do 500 a month, but the standard deviation is like 500. So some months you might have 0. You know, but it is designed to double your account every 4 months. That's what the math says it should do. Does that mean if you buy it and you become a subscriber, that you're going to do that? No, it doesn't. But I've been honest with the numbers, 100% honest with the numbers. The real money, though, is in what Tori is doing.
especially anything below the 1 hour, you are not concerned about. Just staying in that 4-hour time frame is going to help you make that transition a lot smoother. If you are making
Yeah, I mean,
What's your opinion on day trading versus starting a business?
Even if you're the best day trader on earth and you start with $1,000, you can't turn $1,000 into $1 million within 3 years, just day trading. Whereas you can take $1,000 and turn that into $1 million with a business.
True, you can do that, but just like trading, anything that's that competitive, 90% fail. So you're basically saying the $1 million with a business is a sure thing. It's absolutely not. 100% not. So, but this is young thinking that they have never really, everything that they do is theory early in life. You have to have a theory of what reality is like. but you've never actually maybe ran a business. You don't know, you've never maybe hired employees, you've never had employees steal from you. You know, I mean, it's easier said than done.
You as a person is the best income generating asset that you will ever have. So focus on you.
Yeah, and that's why I think trading is better than a business. For TradeBlade, you can start with, I mean, the minimum you need to start, if you really need to start with 2K, you can do it 100%. Every 2K that you add to that, you increase your income over time. Now, is this guaranteed? No, of course not. But do the numbers say exactly that? Yes. Are the numbers based on back testing? No. Back testing doesn't even work really. This is based on what's called gambler's ruin equation, or they call it barrier math. And this is based on just probabilities, just statistics. We use random walks. MC means Monte Carlo. So we do random walks. So there is no edge involved. We take trades with random walks, find out what happened, and populate this with sensible, reasonable numbers. This is, I'm not happy with this because this is way more than what it should be. But this happens half the time of this. Okay. And then in this scenario, you're making, yes, you do have a week or 2 week wait on getting the payout after you get there. To get there fully, it's about a 3-week journey, plus your 2 weeks wait for payout. That's a 5-week journey. That's why it's almost better to fail and just keep going this route, because this is done every couple of days. Now, this is all based on no edge. So understand that if you're a little bit good at picking, yeah, where's price going next? If you're fairly good at that, or good enough, and all I'm trying to do is simply find these tops and bottoms. Like as we're coming into here, I see this big pullback, and then I'm watching this key level here. I'm watching that key level. We had a break of it, and I'm looking to mean revert. This is actually New York Open. I don't typically trade these into the New York Open, but it did exactly that. It mean reverted. So that's an example. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for just, these times where we have these big moves down. Like check out this move down. So look at the anatomy of a move down. So we have this move down, and then small candles, small candles. And then we can justify it. Well, yeah, they're small, but this was the open. So the open candles are going to be bigger anyway. But we have a small pullback, nothing real strong. These were very strong candles coming down here. Then we get our first candle that actually makes a new low. Does that mean they're all going down from there? Absolutely not. This can totally fake you out. But you see this kind of continues on down, big candle down. This right here is sort of the one I would be like, yeah, we're going lower. Because I would have expected a turnaround up here. If we didn't get this turnaround here at this level, and we had a big sell-off into a candle that closed near its low, I'm thinking, dang, we're going lower. And that's what happened there. But it's not always that way. Here's one that went the other way. Okay, so this is 7:30 candle. So this is FOMC type stuff. So on this type of stuff, you do often see exactly what we have here. You see a big pullback. FOMC move, these 7:30 central announcements that get made that cause these big moves, you don't often see them continue. They usually correct immediately. So that's a nice setup. But anyway, that was your weekend rant. We can do a couple more if you want. Here, let's do a couple more of these. This is kind of fun. I'm enjoying this.
3 losers in a row follows the same philosophy of 3 strikes, you're out. All right. So you've got 3 strikes, you're out. Try again. It is what it is.
I agree. He's talking about limiting trades. I even do one trade a day per account. One trade per prop account, or you can do multiple for your live account, but each prop account one time. So our daily loss, we set the loss limit to our stop loss to the daily loss limit, and we try to get a big chunk of money. We try to pass the thing to get it funded. Of course, we're not trying to get it funded. That's why we by design have the profit target way far away. So
price pushed down, and went all the way. This is how I consistently get the best NASDAQ trades every day on my live stream. First, I have to set up my opening range, marking out the high and the low from 9:30 to 9:45.
First of all, production value, awesome. You hear the violins in the background. It's exciting. It was an exciting, attention-grabbing clip to open with. Good lighting in his studio.
Then I want to see a break and close, just like I got right here. That tells me I'm looking for sells. Next, I want to trade with the trend, so I'm only looking for sells below the 200 period moving average. Using the Fibonacci, I want to make sure price comes back above the 50%, but where is my entry going to be? Well, right here we have an obvious flip zone. It was an area used as support, then it was used as resistance multiple times. So this is actually where I entered the trade live on stream, and after I tapped in front of hundreds of people, price pushed down, and went all the way to my take profit.
I mean, that's great. That's amazing that happened. However, it implies when you do candle analysis like this, it implies there's anything really to it. And that's the scary thing, is you can present this like, okay, this wasn't a random move. You can present this like, we targeted our entry here because, we had this low here, and, it broke through here, it tested, now it's support, came back to test it again. I get it. And it looks wonderful when these once in a while trades happen. It looks wonderful. It makes day trading look so easy. And that's the bad thing, is that this was a random event. He happened to get lucky that he picked the right spot. It could have bounced here and he would have missed the move entirely. And the move could have been the same amount that he made on this trade. It could have continued far lower. So my point is, this is a scary bullish candle to short, okay? That is a scary bullish candle. This probably came in with a ton of volume, and it finished near its high. I mean, I wouldn't want to short the close of that candle. Sure, wait for a little bit. I think that's
every
what he
day
did.
On my live stream. First, I have to set up my opening range, marking out the high and the low from 9:30 to 9:45. Then I want to see a break and close, just like.
Okay, so I misunderstood his entire thing. He's doing an opening range breakout trade. I was trading this stuff here. So I guess what I said was irrelevant. I apologize.
Why is it impossible to turn $100 into $1 million?
It's not impossible technically. It's like walking into a casino with $100 and coming out with $1 million. It's not a trading plan. With $100, if you risk 1% to 2% on each trade, it's literally making cents on each trade, which means that people is gonna start cranking up their leverage, over risking on each trade. And when that happens, one big bad loss will inevitably wipe them out and they have to go back to square one.
Why is it impossible to turn
So I love this. This is everything for the typical trader. What's cool about TradeBlade is we can flip a coin and still win. So as long as our trade resolves within the session, we're good. We're good. The math will take care of itself.
So everything together, I would say around 8 figures, or I know it's 8 figures. A lot of it, the majority of it comes from just getting really early into crypto. And then I do make a lot of money from trading, but crypto did take up the majority of that. So everything together, I would say around 8 figures, or I know.
Here's what strategy you should be using every month while you start.
See, here's the thing.
So everything together,
I don't 100% buy a lot of this stuff. Okay. I don't like it because it's showing the excitement, but it's not showing really the realities of what the person is facing. I think it would be far better to tell people, look, you're not going to win day trading, period. You're not going to. And they say, you're not going to. No, you're not going to. Maybe a decade later, maybe. But you have to more get into the swing trading side of things if you really want it. But if you want to, there is a way. TradeBlade is the way. It's the only way I know of. Grow your account with TradeBlade. Use the prop firms as, oops, I lost some money on my hedge, on my live real money account. I can make some of it back because I can get a payout here. It's brilliant. It covers your losses on your real trades. So
Here's what strategy you should be using every month while you start learning day trading. Month 1, you're learning how to day trade. You're on YouTube watching the most viewed videos. You're probably learning ICT, smart money, liquidity, fair value gaps. And that's fine. It gets you from point A to point B. And you're just not trying to blow your account. Now, month 2, you're still trading ICT. And now you're back testing breaker blocks, order blocks, previous day high, previous day low. And now you're starting to notice something. The setup looks good, but it still fails. You start asking deeper questions. Who is actually buying? Who is actually trapped? Where is the real aggression coming from? Now you graduate. You graduate into order flow. And that's month number 3. You stop trading patterns and you start recognizing participation. You're looking at things like aggression, absorption, delta flips. You realize,
I mean, that's all cool and everything, but it's based on the same thing a candle is based on, and that is what just happened, what just previously occurred. Because you know the numbers above and below the actual executed number, they don't mean anything. I mean, maybe they mean something, but they get spoofed all the time from what I understand. But the core principle here is, do we believe previous price action can reveal what is coming next? If you answer yes to that, you are going to be in a world of years and years and years of figuring that out. If you do the right thing and say, you know what, essentially, no, price is essentially random. Once you get there, then you need to look for a different solution, because reading ICT, reading order flow, those are all based on what just happened can tell us what's going to happen next. And I'm not saying that there aren't moments where that occurs, but you have to wait like a hunter hunting elk sitting quietly in a tree stand for 4 hours, 6 hours. So
I understand not wanting to lose money. Nobody wants to lose money, but this is trading. You will lose money. Being a successful trader doesn't mean not losing. It means being good at losing, which is cutting your losses quickly and then focusing on winning trades, adding to winners, not to lose.
here's the thing. Those are all abstract words. When you're actually in the nitty gritty, what looks like this is going against me? What does that mean? What does that look like? This is where these words are not good enough. You won't be able to execute and see what he sees because he's got more experience. But experience just isn't everything, because experience sometimes still doesn't get it done. And that's why it's very profitable to run a YouTube channel on about trading and, you know, have some side money.
Break right through the 700 is gonna be real beautiful if we get it. Right there at that pivot point, it's gonna go downtown. I'm looking for 660s, I think, easy. And some orders out here can get filled right through the 700s there. Take some profit down there. Almost to my first target. Getting some fill there, taking some more here at the 84s, leaving one down there at the 80s to get to, getting filled. Beautiful. 5 contracts left here. See if we can get the 70s. Break right through the 700 is gonna be real beautiful if we get it. Right there at that pivot point.
It's nice when that happens, when your runner runs and
Day in the life of a 20-year-old day trader. I start the morning with a quick breakfast before I head to my desk to start trading.
20 points there, bro. 80-point day. I'll take that. Are you shorts?
Yeah.
Get your dog. Get your dog.
And now there's only one thing left to do. Day in the life of a.
That's cool. Those are the good days.
You know what to do, baby. Come on now. Come on now. $2 million profit. 550K withdrawal. We live in life. We just live in life. There's nothing else to say.
So how likely do you think it is that a guy with tattoos all over his face and neck, wearing a chain that's, who knows if it's real or not, it doesn't even matter. It just, it looks gangster. Just made $2 million while he's at a football game. I mean, would you want to give somebody like that your $2 million to trade and find out he's trading from a stadium? I mean, this is a man who, what's that where angels fear to tread? Fools rush in. I mean, I don't know, man. I wouldn't give a guy like this $2 million to trade. Not if he's trading it from, and if that's your answer on that, then sort of what the deal is on this guy.
$61,000 of profit. We ended up getting this really nice break through the.
People who say that trading psychology is bullshit. I think there's 2 categories of traders who say that. First category are people who have never been successful in trading. That's
okay. Maybe I'm going to be critical.
A lot of them. And there's also a group of traders who are very successful who might say that. And I know some.
Yeah. Okay. I was waiting for that one.
Of those folks. And I think they actually do use trading psychology, but they don't recognize it as such. They don't articulate it that way. But going back to what you were saying in terms of mixing up whether I have an edge versus whether it was my psychology was that the problem, I don't take on a new independent.
Let me tell you right now. Let me stop it right there. When you have something like TradeBlade where you automatically make money, if you don't mess it up by occasionally forgetting you need 4 contracts, not 2, that sort of thing, those things will happen. I even do them sometimes. I even do that sometimes. So, but this is your expected EV every time you fail on a $1,600. You can start with $1,600. If you have 16,000, multiply this by 10. So every 2 days you make $1,391.80 on average. once you start getting to where it doesn't matter what happens, what do you think my trading psychology is like? You know, I was sweating it like a pig before. Nail biters. Now I either make $100 for every 1,600 I have, and if I have 10, if I have 16K, so I make $1,000 every day, or I get a funded account from which I can recover my $400 one way, 377, or 1,500 another way, plus a bonus round. How do you think my psychology is? I don't know if this is, should I fully be myself? Just, I don't want to come across as cocky and arrogant, but man,
everything is up here. The missing piece for every single trader is not needing more capital. It's that most people lack discipline, confidence, the proper mindset.
That's the other thing. It's not that, see, these gurus have a nice out for all of you that pay for his courses. Well, were you disciplined? Did you, trading is so discretionary, it's very hard to define discipline. Okay? You can't, you have to make the money when the money's there to be made. When the setup occurs, you need to take it. I don't know. I'm ranting a little too much now.
In psychology and all of that emotional baggage that comes from having bad habits. The shift happens when you stop.
That's the thing, that they just always blame it on you if there's a problem. TradeBlade never blames you. Okay? There might be some quiet acknowledgement that, oh, I should have had 4 contracts, not 2 on my funded hedging. Or I got 2, I used 2 during my eval when there should be 1. Those mistakes happen. But the math itself works out no matter what happens. And if you have a slight edge, if you can actually fail more often than 40%, it greatly changes the game for you. If you can get down to 25%, and you might think, oh, that sounds easy. Well, 40% is the barrier math. Because we have a one-day pass, we have a very simple calculation to find out the percentage of passing it, because the end of day drawdown is no longer a factor because there's no ratcheting involved. In a one-day pass, we can get a funded account immediately, no ratchet, or fail the first day, the first 1,000, no ratchet. Second day, even if we failed the first, if we win, we get a funded account from there, no ratchet. So once we're around the ratchet, it's a very simple calculation to know what barrier is hit first. 3,000 or negative 2,000, starting at 0, what's the probabilities? And it's 40%. So that's with no edge. If you do have edge and you can get this down to like 25%, I mean, we're trying to eliminate this from happening. Even this is a big time sink. It'll be very frustrating when you get your payout and waiting for this if you don't have a lot of capital to continue churning evals. The reason why you need 1,600 to 2K is because worst case scenario, you have $1,000 you're laid out there, another $300. I encourage you to pay your eval fees and PA activations out of your own bank account, not out of your trading account. The reason is because especially when you're just starting, it helps you to build your trading account faster doing it that way. I think you should seed your trading account with the eval fee and PA activation fees from a separate account, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, how arrogant do I sound right now? I'm very, very, my previous roommate said I was arrogant. Now, the thing is, I thought he was the most arrogant dude I'd ever met. So I mean, he negged on everybody. He was better than everybody. So I don't know.
The president's had enough.
We're going to take out Pickaxe Mountain. Tell the Iranians to be ready.
I will.
Let them know we're coming, okay? There's not a damn thing
All right,
they
that's
can
not
do.
trading. I don't want to watch that. Okay. Oh, here's one of my favorites. This guy. I think he's the real deal. He's been around forever.
A lot of times this is what happens when the market opens, okay? So your session could be, if you're trading Forex, maybe 8 o'clock, or my session, I'm trading the NASDAQ, so it's 9:30. A lot of times the market would just do a fake move, maybe to the upside or to the downside, and then go right back down. So right here, the market opened at 9:30. Notice how it did a nice move to the upside right here, right? And it's getting a lot of people, hyped up, like, oh my gosh, the market is bullish. Oh, let me try to buy. So notice how it's hitting this resistance though. A lot of people are not looking at this. Now, hitting resistance twice right here, is having a hard time getting over that resistance. This is where I'm looking to attack, going short right here to trap all the buyers so I can get my profits. So this is something that you can use when you're trading the market, especially around when your session.
I mean, dude, this is the gold standard. To me, this is how you do it. He understands exactly what happens at the open. This is a very specific time frame. Time period. It's in the initial, hour of. I think he was doing 5-minute candles there. I didn't really see, but yeah, it didn't say. But I suppose they would be 5-minute candles, but you can't really tell.
How would I start as a day trader from the very beginning? If I could do it all over again, how would I do it? First thing that we can do.
See, this will be interesting because a lot of these day traders, they give you advice on getting there that they didn't actually take themselves. And I would argue you have to take a certain path to become a good day trader. And if you skip some of the early stuff that you need to go through, you won't be able to make it. But let's see what he says.
Is go to baby pips. If you know zero, if you know nothing, if you are a beginner, this is where I would want to start. This is step one, okay? Then what do? Learn Forex, okay? Even if you aren't going to be learning how to trade Forex, okay, this is a great, in my opinion, just a great beginner course for candlesticks and how to read a chart. Because once you know how to read a chart, you can trade Forex, options, futures, okay?
Here's the thing is, I mean, and I admire that there's something like this out there for the beginner. But you're just basically taking all their money for the next multiple years because they're going to trade just like every other retail trader and not have a real system. Tell me how many of those systems that you've seen actually have an expected value calculation not based on the past. This is all Monte Carlos. This is all random data. I mean, you're not going to find any of them because it's not based on math. Wouldn't you rather have something based on math that you're executing? Look, if you're one of these people that want to go to, Southeast Asia or Eastern Europe or, Latin America somewhere and trade from anywhere in the world, you need something that's based on math. You don't want to be trusting, how I'm feeling. What's the market doing today? Let's, Om Mani Padme, Om. Let's get spiritual so we can make some money.
I'm going to attempt a starter, start scaling in if we move down here. I'm going to go ahead and add a third one, risking this candle high. Only risking like 112, so it's no big deal if I get stopped out here. Okay, I was just mentioning in Discord how you can see that this top red trend line is still holding lower highs. We're wicking off, but we need to fail underneath this one. This is a larger trend line on the 4-hour, 1-hour points of view. All right, we're up about $600. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that to break even. This trend line makes me nervous where I really want to close this trade. I'm trying not to be a chicken here. I've secured $1,125 in profit. So if we bounce up here, I'm just gonna get knocked out. We're hitting these fibs and you see how we're reacting. That's a pretty bullish reaction so far. Yep, all right, I got knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, good read all the way through that. I mean, here's what makes me say I can't say it's 100% random. It's you have to use the correct words. Essentially random. This woman probably has a decade on this. I mean, and she paid her dues to get here. So just keep that in mind. Or you could have a, whatever, it's your decision.
I was sitting at a bar over the weekend overlooking the plaza here in Cusco, Peru, and I met a guy from Texas. He is now a professor teaching English at the university. And we were just sharing stories back and forth, and he asked me about a trading question. And he asked me, if trading is so difficult, why would you recommend somebody to get into trading? Thing is, 95% of traders will end up losing money or quit. So I sat there for a minute trying to think of an answer to give to that man. And the reason why we get into trading is for that lifestyle change, to maybe make a first or second stream of income, to travel the world, to maybe just spend more time with yourself, maybe get a part-time job, more time with the family. But even if trading does not work out, you quit after 2 years. The amount of information that you will learn is incredible about how the economy works, how money moves. You will know.
Trying to look on the bright side. Still, you can't afford to just not make it. If you're on this journey, you're on this journey. You're not gonna quit.
What if I had listened to those people 5 years ago who told me that day trading was a waste of time? Where would I be? I never would have been able to quit my job. I wouldn't be able to make money from the comfort of my own bed. I never would have been able to buy my dream car or buy my dream home. I never would have been able to travel the world with the love of my life or live trade with people from around the world. I wouldn't be able to get married on Hawaii or think about raising a family in Orange County. And the people who told me that day trading was a scam, where are they now? They're in the exact same place they were 5 years ago, and now they message me, how can I start? And
I've never run into the day trading as a scam and nobody telling me that, but there's a lot about day trading that is, you don't know what you're signing up for. He says 5 years. He's definitely an exception. You should be looking more like a decade, honestly.
This is day one of me trying to turn $150 into $10,000.
So today I actually took 2 trades while I was in class. I bought options puts for SPY. I actually exited around here because the market was reversing and I didn't want to get caught on the opposite end of it. While this trade here was a lot better, but in hindsight, I could have definitely held this for longer as it just kept going for the rest of the day. But we take our profits of 50.
Yeah, there's no way to know that. There's no way to know that it wouldn't have reversed at any point in time. You set your profit targets where you want them, and you just leave them alone. Don't do anything.
Would you buy or sell?
I hate these. Okay, I hate these because it makes you agree to an assumption that previous candles tell you what the next candle is going to do. Now, that being said, let's have a little fun with this. So we have a little trend line right here, and we had a rejection first, and then we're seeking lower right here. So it could go either way, honestly. But let's say if it breaks below this, it continues lower. If it doesn't break below this on this next candle, it stays above.
5 seconds for you to decide.
So I got my limit orders in.
Let's analyze this together. We can observe that the price has broken below this well-established channel.
That's not a well-established channel, for one thing. That's these are probably 5-minute candles, and that's all noise.
Indicating that sellers have overcome the buyers who were previously pushing the price upward. There appears to be a noticeable shift in the trend, marked by lower highs and lower lows. The market is oversold, and sellers are rapidly gaining momentum. We can also observe these 3 consecutive bearish candles, commonly known as 3 black crows. This pattern is
Means
considered one
nothing.
of the most significant candlestick patterns, indicating a potential
Candlestick patterns don't work. They mean nothing.
trend reversal
Look, here's three black crows. Here too.
and the beginning of a downtrend. Lastly, this magnificent inverted hammer indicates that buyers are currently unable to push the price any higher. Consequently, I initiate a short position immediately.
See, I wouldn't short yet. This is not, you don't know what's coming next, dude. This is a massive gamble doing this. I would wait until at least it shows some bearish activity on the next candle. Let's see what it does. So this next candle was kind of ambiguous, right? So, you know, who knows? I mean, this isn't a real strong break below. I wouldn't trust this. This just happened to be what happened. This is why you do not actually try to figure out where it's going next based on this kind of thing. Sorry. Okay, so 5%, consistent, disciplined trader, 17%. Here's the thing, guys. This almost shows sort of the trader journey arc. Because at the beginning, you are going to be hopping around strategies. And you are going to run into some success. And you're going to have some emotional decisions that you made.
Here's my risky.
Whoops. Consistency will come after that. And then, yeah, I mean, this is your entire journey.
Here's my risky day trading strategy that makes me an extra $1,000 a week. First of all.
Okay, so all right, so this makes him. Is he in a museum or something, or is this where he lives? He's got a somewhat expensive looking chain. He's got maybe a copper bracelet. You know, is he an extra 1,000? So what does he normally make, like $3-4 grand a week? This makes him an extra 1,000 a week.
Well, I would advise that you don't do it. All right. Almost all traders lose money, but I know that you motherfuckers don't listen to me, because if you did, you would have been rich a long time ago. So if you're going to day trade anyway, here's what I do. I trade one stock when I'm day trading. The reason I trade the same thing every day without trading everything else is because what I notice is different stocks have different volatility levels, right? So if you're trying to trade.
Yeah, he's 100% right. Stick to one instrument and you'll learn the heartbeat of that instrument.
Swing trading is better than day trading and less stressful. I can't tell you.
100%, I would agree with that, but nothing is less stressful than having an expected value that happens during random entries with random bars. So there is no edge here and the thing still makes money. Nothing beats that.
How better my life has been since starting swing trading. People have asked me, well, you didn't get rich from swing trading, you got rich from day trading. That's a fact. However, keeping my love from trading comes from swing trading.
Yeah, I mean, I would that's a believable path that a day trader would get enough of a stake to where he would just become a swing trader and make it a lot less volatile for you. But TradeBlade, honestly, TradeBlade wins mathematically. So, you know, why would you change that? I don't know. Maybe down the line I'll change into a swing trader, but I doubt that.
The most important part of a chart is the lowest tick of the highest bar, the highest tick of the lowest bar.
Let's try it. First, we're gonna go to the 1 hour time frame. Here we have a nice trend. We're gonna mark the highest tick on the lowest bar and the lowest tick on the highest bar. This will create gray areas of supply and gray areas of demand. If price hits our area of supply first, we're gonna look for shorts. If price hits our area of demand first, we're gonna look for long. If we look at our example, price hit our area of demand first, so we'll look for long. Before we enter, we want to see if price will respect our area of demand first, which it does. Wait for price to come back down to the start of the move, enter here, set your stop loss below the area of demand, set your take profit at the high.
Totally reasonable. Totally reasonable. I have no problems with that. The only thing is you again, you fan that flame of, we can determine what's happening next based on what's currently happening with price. And if you say no to that, you can't predict the future. You're a lot smarter. You're a lot better off.
If I wanted to buy 1 hour of your time so you can teach me how to trade, how much would you charge me?
So let's just do some simple math.
So this is kind of one of the guys. I don't know that this is all marketing, 100% marketing. So he's going to naturally make this seem, if he's actually achieved what he said what he says he's achieved, he's not going to tell you how difficult it is.
Last year I made about $12 million the whole year trading, right? You divide the 12 million.
See how he says trading real quietly?
Million by 12 months, it's about $1 million a month. Divide that by 30 days, I'm making about $33,000 a day.
I think he's making that, maybe not. I mean, that's only 4,000 subs. So maybe
if I wanted to buy one,
I mean, I'm very skeptical of this because I know discretionary trading is the only way to win, really, and you need years to be good at it. So someone that comes out the gate,
quit your job and become a day trader. Well, here's the first thing that I would tell anybody, because I know a lot of people that have done it and then they go back to their job and you're like, why would they ever go back? Well, to be honest, it gets boring after a certain amount of time. Like after 6 months of strictly day trading, you learn how to manage your time. You know what times you're going to look at the charts. And you realize, like, what am I doing for the remaining 16 hours, 12 hours of the day? You're not doing anything. So eventually you become very bored. And a lot of people open up second businesses, third businesses, go back to a job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to go strictly off of your trading income, it is boring after.
I don't agree with any of this video.
And I'm in. Order filled. I'm in NQ buys.
Okay, so we have a random entry. Essentially, there's no. This is essentially a little pause in the action. It looks like he's got this area right here. This might be some previous high. Came back and revisited. It's hard to tell.
Looking for a nice push up on price. We can still push upwards. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
That happens, that happens. Let's see what he does.
Not looking too good. I need that break. Come on.
Nerves of steel.
Yes. Beautiful. That's what I'm.
Nerves of steel.
If you want to go and dig into the beautiful world of trading and learn the actual methodology, it's about not losing money as opposed to making money, which of course is all the stuff you'll see on social media. The truth is, if there's a system, a robot is better at following a system than you ever will be. So please, you're only going to lose money and you're only going to sit in a chair and waste money on screens and software, and you're not going to make any progress, and you're going to wonder where 3 months of your life went. Trust me, there's nothing freeing about sitting in a chair staring at a screen. I did it for 7 years. If you want to go and dig into the beautiful world of trading and learn the actual methodology, it's about not losing money as opposed.
I mean, I like when people are more realistic about what trading is. Yeah, it's a lot of screen time for sure.
Every morning at exactly 10 a.m., something specific happens in the market. And if you get good at spotting it, you can make a lot of money. Let me explain. Every single morning, a 4-hour candle opens. If the market is bullish, you're gonna see an open, a low, and a high. If the market is bearish, you're gonna see an open, a high, and a low. Let me explain. Step 1, we are clearly bullish for the day. Step 2, we are only gonna start looking for trades at exactly 10 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. Here, this yellow line marks the 10 a.m. point. We wanna see two things at this point: accumulation, and then directly after, manipulation. Since we're bullish for the the day, we want to see our accumulation, and then next, we want to see manipulation to the downside, which we got. Once you see these, you're going to look for a spot to enter a trade. I prefer finding a fair value gap for this. After the manipulation, wait for a price jump. Mark your fair value gap, wait for price.
Okay, without even saying anything else, you know, fair value gap or anything, when you see a low here, and then you see an aggressive bullish candle through it, that's a very bullish sign. Now, is it bullish past this area? I don't know, but even without all that jargon that he was throwing around, this is a very bullish sign. Yeah, you could be patient and take a trade in here, or you could just enter right away.
To come to this gap, enter the trade, and boom, you got.
He waits, but look what he waits through. Okay, I'm not into this. I'm not into this at all. You don't know that there's going to be a big boom. Okay, this is cherry picked big boom. All right, look what he did. He waited until, so this, if you had entered right here and it starts going higher, you're out right about these highs and you size yourself accordingly. Okay, he waits till we have a big, can you imagine trying to short? This doesn't look like a green candle at the moment he, or trying to long right here. This doesn't look like a big green candle right here. This looks like a red candle opened here and is probably just directly low. You're going to take a long into that? Dude, no.
Order filled.
Okay, so let's see. He had an order filled. Where was the order filled? So is that the blue line? Is that his order? I guess it is. I don't like the way they set this up. This is not. NinjaTrader's better. So you have a long here. Let's back it up here. Let's just kind of see from the beginning what he's thinking of. So, I mean, this is what you're looking at when you enter. Okay, so he's playing a mean reversion, and that's completely fine, and that's completely that's the smartest thing to do, really. Playing breakouts is not really where it's at. Playing mean reversion is. So he is going along just a little bit below this low here. But boy, I mean, you just don't know if this is going to crash on through. You don't know.
Order filled.
It fills it right there, but that's a very arbitrary entry, and that's probably the best way to handle it. If you can handle, being very disciplined with your stops and your targets. Because it actually went into pretty good into drawdown, and it could have continued even lower than that, and that's what makes that a really not a very good entry. Here's what I would suggest instead. You have a big trail of red candles. Wait until you see a green one. When the green one, and I see that, yeah. I mean, this is almost too. I mean, you basically missed the move there. You enter somewhere in here, you're good. So you entered in somewhere in this wick, you're good. You know. He's going to this area, I'd take a little bit less of it, probably. See, I get stopped out right. Well, no, I guess the stop would be probably below here. Yeah, I get stopped out there. He doesn't. Goes on to winner. This is why I don't trade this way. This is a nightmare.
How to turn $100 into $10,000 trading crypto, let's go. First things first, we only have $100, which means we have to bet big. So we're gonna be risking 10% of our account every single trade, and even though that's only $10,
I'm kind of sick of these. Anyway, this was the weekend rant. This is my first edition. We'll see if we do more going forward. But please do yourself a favor. Hit TradeBladeHQ.com. Hit the home page. Take the interactive demo, and send me an email. Do those things. We'll get you on the right track. Okay. We're not here to fleece you. We're not here to make you to blame you if something goes wrong. Oh, were you disciplined? Were you this, that, or the, come on. Let's get a real system. It's time for you to have a real system. You stumbled onto the right place. Execute. Now is the time. Execute.